Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach Hudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Well, peace, blessings, salutations to the full elect that is out there pushing, laboring, believing, and listening onto this truth with our sincerity. All right, may the blessing be upon your houses. All right, the title and topic of this lesson is going to be on this this doll, all right, called Labubu, right? It's a Labubu doll, and it comes from a ancient demon. I believe the name was Pazuzu, if I'm not mistaken. All right, I have a little bit on the clip. All right, but before I play that, right, this goes to show you how there is high levels of witchcraft at play, high levels of sorcery at play, because this is supposed to be a children's toy, man. All right, here it is. You have it. It's supposed to be, for children. However, it's a demon, right? It's a demon doll. All right, kind of reminds you like the Chucky dolls or something to that extent, man. Right? And seeing things like that should really vex you, man. Seeing things like that shows us why, we need salvation, man. Right? Shows you why Babylon has to get destroyed, man. All right, because they are constantly pushing and promoting wickedness at all levels, man. Right? Well, I'm gonna play a little bit on this clip, all right, just to give a little backstory of it. When this is edifying.
The past few months, online critics of Labubu have connected the Labubu character to a Mesopotamian demon, Pazuzu, noting the similar.
Right, and if you look side by side, pause it real quick. If you look side by side, all right, on the left side you see the children's toy doll, right, and on the right side you see the ancient demon, right, and on the left side you see that doll. That doll looks demonic, man. All right, I don't know what parents should have even been buying this to begin with, man. All right, if I had seed, I wouldn't buy this for my child, man. All right, but nevertheless, all right, you see the resemblance, man. All right, and this is something that they were promoting and pushing towards children, towards kids. That's why you see a lot of these children cartoons and kids shows. All right, it's pushing out a lot of wicked vibration, whether it's being a demon, whether it's being a sodomite, all right, and so forth, man. Right, they're pushing these things towards the children, all right, especially the Israelite child, man. Right, so they're trying to pollute Jake, from their adolescence, man, from their young age. Okay, this place is completely defiled and completely polluted, man. All right, and also you could blame the parents too, because the parents should be, wise enough to, keep certain things away from their children, man. However, these parents be bugged out too, right? Exposing their children to, all different levels of demonic things, man. All right, letting them think it's okay to be a demon and so forth, man. All right, and it comes with a book also, right? A Labubu book, where in the book, he's being a full-blown demon, man. All right, and before I even continue playing this, I want to get this scripture real quick in Proverbs, the 22nd chapter, verse 6, and it reads, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." Right? It's very important, all right, to train up a child in the proper ways at a young age, man. Right? Because when children are very, very young, all right, they're like, they got to say they're like sponges, man. They're soaking in everything. Right? That's why you see if you put a child in the house, and you got five people in there, they all speaking different languages, that child gonna grow up and know all the languages, man, fluently, man. Because children retain information better at a young age, man. They're soaking in everything around them. So if they're constantly being exposed to Salaki, if they're constantly being exposed to this Labubu, through his name, if they're constantly being exposed to this, if they're constantly being exposed to a whole bunch of demonic things and wicked things, and their parents is not bringing them up in the right way, ultimately what's that's gonna lead them to? It's gonna lead them to growing up to be a demon, growing up to be a sodomite, growing up to be all different types of wicked things that Babylon is constantly pushing and promoting. Right? That's why it's important to train up a child in the proper ways. All right, let's continue on.
Similar appearance, specifically the mischievous grin. You've got the big eyes right there. This also reminds me of that one kid's book. I can't remember. Oh, what is it? It reminds me of Where the Wild Things Are. Yeah, it reminds me of that. And I don't think that's demonic. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. But okay, so people are saying also the name is similar. You've got the same number of letters. They almost rhyme. Pazuzu was known as the king of the demons of the wind and controlled the west and southwest winds that could bring plagues and famine. So people are saying there's also some similarities there because Labubu, even though she's this kind of innocent elf, she is also creating chaos in the books. Though he was considered an evil underworld demon, people would pray that instead of bringing destruction, he would use his power to protect them. And so, again, we kind of see a similar theme. We see this troublemaker in Labubu who is actually depicted as kind-hearted and good and innocent. And then you've got Pazuzu, this demon over here, who is a dark kind of lord of the winds who creates chaos that people are hoping underneath it all has a kind heart that he will use to protect them. They would.
All right, so that's it. I'm gonna play on the video, just to give you, just the comparisons, to see the comparisons and the similarities, between the Labubu doll and that ancient demon Pazuzu. All right, so nevertheless, all right, that just goes to show you. Oh, and let me get this also too, because they mentioned in the book, one sec. Right, they mentioned in the book that the demon doll was being a full-blown demon, right? And this is the book here. All right, I'm trying to see if I can get this to load up. And it's supposed to be a kid's book. One sec here. I'm gonna just let that load up, and while that loads up, also, in the movie Exorcist. All right, the child is possessed by a demon, right? And I just went on Google. I said, what is the name of the demon in The Exorcist that possesses the kid? And this is from the AI overview. It says in the movie The Exorcist, the demon that possesses the young Regan McNeil is named Pazuzu. All right, so you have a kid's toy doll named Labubu, okay, who's I guess you could say modeled after that demon Pazuzu. All right, and in this movie Exorcist, you have a child being possessed by that same demon, right? Again, I bring that out to show the correlation, right? You got that ancient demon that was going after kids, and here it is, they're making it a doll for children, right? And here's the book, right? Look at this. Look at this. Look at how demonic the face of this is, man. Right? Look at that. That's through. And then over here, through. And this is supposed to be for children, right? This is supposed to be for children. Okay? Going to show you high levels of witchcraft, high levels of sorcery is getting pushed and promoted in Babylon, America, and especially towards the children, man. All right. Okay, and best believe, hey, these kids are seeing this ads pop up on their little iPads, on the ads and commercials and all these things, and it's constantly getting pushed and promoted. Shit, school, they probably even have them at school for the kids to play with and so forth, man. Who knows, man? All right, but this just goes to show you the different lengths, the different levels of witchcraft that's getting pushed, man, even to the very impressionable children, man, and mainly, honestly, the Israelite child. Okay, and this is the wickedness of Babylon, America. This is Isaiah the 5th chapter, verse 20, and it reads, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." And that is what they do in this place, man. Right? They'll get this, something that is so demonic and so evil, and they'll praise it. Right? They'll put it on a pedestal as if it's good. Right? As if it's always just for the children. It's just a kid's toy. It's a kid's doll, kid's book. It's harmless. But the whole time it has alternate motives behind it. Right? This is Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter, verse 7. It reads, "Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart." Right? And when we, speaking on myself first and foremost, when I see things like this, right, the wickedness in this place, man, it makes you angry, man. And it should, right? Shorty paraphrasing scripture says, the He's talking about the men of the Lord that are sighing and crying, you know, for all the abominations. Okay, matter of fact, I'm gonna get it. Right? Because all this wickedness in this place is honestly vexing. All the wickedness that's pushed in this place should get you angry. You should be upset when you see the state of the world. You should be upset when you see the demonic things that's constantly being pushed and promoted, man. But these people are so pacified, or so, I guess you could say, so at ease or asleep, you know, to the things that are going on, that they don't even bat an eye to it, right? You know, they get desensitized, right? That's the perfect word for it. These people are desensitized to wickedness, man. All right? They are desensitized to wickedness in Babylon, America. Okay? And while that loads, I'm going to just get the next one. This is Amos, the 5th chapter, verse 14, and it reads, "Seek good and not evil, that ye may live. And so the Lord, the power of hosts, shall be with you as ye have spoken. Hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. It may be the Lord, our power of hosts, will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph," right? Hate the evil, love the good, and that is constantly what we're doing in this place, man. All right? When we speak up against things like this, right? Like this doll right here, you know, something evil like this, people be like, "What's wrong with you, man? It's just a kid's doll. You know, you're doing too much, man. Just let the kids have fun." You know, the kids don't know what it is. You know, whole time there's a demonic vibration behind it, man. Right? So we hate this evil, man. All right. This is Romans, the 12th chapter, and I'm gonna start at verse 9, and it reads, "Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good." And when you go into that word abhor, that means what? To hate, to detest, all right? You know, to dislike, you know, disregard, and so forth. All right, that which is evil, man. All right, and cleave to that which is good, and that's what we do. When we see things like this, we detest it, man. All right, we hate that evil, man. All right, and this is just one of many things that is constantly pushed and promoted in Babylon, America, man. All right, one of many things. There's a lot of more wicked things that they have, and that they constantly push and promote in this place, man. Right, especially to the children, especially to the Israelite child. All right, you know, to destroy them, man. Shit, even going back to when Lil Nas X, you know, that demon, or that sold out demon, had those 666 shoes, man. Right, with actual drops of human blood inside of them, man, and they was selling them, man. Shoe had a whole pentagram on it, man. All right, but these are things that's getting pushed and promoted in Babylon, man. Right, where literal witchcraft and being a demon and sorcery and wickedness is being promoted as if it is normal. It's being promoted as if this is your way of life. You know, this is the new normal. This is how you're supposed to be, you know? And this is why we need salvation, man. This is why we're constantly seeking the Lord. All right. But, you know, the point has been made. You know, Lord willing, you know, this lesson was edifying to the elect of Israel. With that being said, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach Hadash. Though honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, the well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the full elect that is out there pushing, laboring, believing, and listening on to this truth with our sincerity. Until next time, shalom, and a ball, Kwame Yasharala, shalom.